Dawn, Western Pacific. Infrared sensors paint the sea scarlet as a wall of hypersonic flashes leaps from sleek, wave-piercing hulls. In less than 12 minutes, those YJ-21 carrier killers will arc at Mach 10 toward a U.S. strike group still scrambling its F-35Cs. No radio chatter, no warning, just the sudden knowledge that the oceans have become a battleground where milliseconds decide empires. Welcome to Combat Tech, where tomorrow's wars storm into your feed today. China's Navy, the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, has exploded from a regional force into the planet's largest fleet, launching cruisers, carriers, drones, and ballistic missiles faster than any nation since World War II. What does that mean for the U.S. Navy? Long the unchallenged monarch of the deep, strap in as we dissect the hardware, the strategy, and the chilling what-ifs shaping the next maritime showdown. Just 2 decades ago, Beijing's Navy fielded barely 60 principal combatants. Today, it sails well over 170, while total battle force ships, those that truly matter in a fight, already outnumber America's and are projected to hit 435 by 2030. That's the verdict of Congress's latest 283-page report, updated April 24, 2025. Why does that matter? Because hulls are options. A destroyer can carry missiles, relief supplies, or diplomats, but only if it exists. The plan is building those options at nearly triple the U.S. peacetime construction rate, rolling ships off assembly lines like smartphones. But raw tonnage is just the opening act. Cue the supercarriers. First came Liaoning, then Shandong, both ski jump carriers useful for training. But the game changer is Fujian Type 003, 80,000 tons electromagnetic catapults, and 7th sea trial completed March the 22nd, 2025, signaling commissioning this year. Fujian's deck will launch the J-35 stealth fighter and KJ-600 AEW aircraft, giving China its first true blue water air wing. Think a Chinese mini Nimitz, flinging stealth jets at 300 feet every 45 seconds. Pair that with a growing escort of modern destroyers, and you've got a roaming power projection package that can sprint past the first island chain and threaten Guam. But the catapult isn't the scariest rail your ears will hear today. Remember those hypersonic streaks? Meet the YJ-21, a cold-launch, 2-stage maneuvering missile leaping from the cavernous VLS of a Type 055 cruiser, hitting Mach 10 and pulling 10 G-turns in its terminal dive. Add air-launched DF-21D tests April 7th, 2025, and ground-launched DF-26B Guam express shots, and you have a concentric buzzsaw that forces U.S. flattops to fight from 1,000-plus nautical miles. Question: can the world's mightiest navy survive in a box where every coordinate is a crosshair? That's the heart-stopping calculus now driving Pentagon budgets. 8 Renhai-class Type 055 cruisers with production-accelerating production line style in 2024 pack 112 universal VLS cells, AESA radars, and command suites rivaling Aegis. Picture an American Ticonderoga and Arleigh Burke merged, then armed with hypersonics. Behind them steam Type 052 DDL destroyers and 052C pickets, forming an umbrella that can layer point, area, and ballistic missile defense around carriers or amphibious groups. Every hull is another node in a kill web linked by Beidou satellites and laser-tight data links. Below the whitecaps lurk new Type 095 nuclear attack subs, whisper quiet and armed with YJ-18 cruise missiles. More ominous, the Type 096 SSBN is expected online before decade's end, carrying JL-3 missiles that can range CONUS from Chinese home waters. Combine that deterrent with a flotilla of AIP-equipped Yuan-class diesel boats, perfect for the South China Sea's shallow basins, and U.S. Pacific Fleet ASW commanders face a submarine knife fight in a phone booth. At Airshow China 2024, the plan unveiled the Jari USVA Orca, a 500-ton trimaran bristling with vertical launch silos and towed sonar, designed to wolfpack alongside manned escorts. Imagine dozens of crewless greyhounds sprinting 40 knots, feeding targeting data back to shore, while daring U.S. commanders to waste million-dollar SM-6s on a robot. Up above, GJ-11 flying wing drones loiter radar silent, and undersea gliders map thermoclines for torpedoes. Are we watching the birth of AI-directed sea warfare? The code is already running. 3 Type 075 helicopter assault ships now sail, each with 30 rotorcraft and a battalion of Marines. Rumors swirl of a Type 076 follow on with electromagnetic launch rails for drones. Layer in over 100,000 personnel of a rapidly franchised PLA Marine Corps, plus beach-storming ZTD-05 amphibious tanks. and Taiwan's planners hear thunder even when skies are clear. 12 new Yaogan series SAR satellites can spot a carrier group through clouds every 90 minutes. Quantum encrypted links pipe that data to rocket forces in near real time. Coastal OTH radars sweep the Philippine Sea out to 3,000 kilometers. In this panoptic ocean, the first to see is the first to shoot. And right now, China's electro-optic crosshairs are blinking red on every US hull that moves west of Hawaii. The Pentagon isn't standing idle. Distributed Maritime Operations, DMO doctrine, disperses lethality across littoral combat ships, Constellation-class frigates, and unmanned Ghost Fleet vessels, then reconverges their missiles via secure networks. New Marine Nemesis batteries, naval strike missiles on JLTVs, just drilled in the Philippines, proving they can deny a strait with a 2-minute setup. At sea, SM-6 Block 1B will soon swat down hypersonics, while conventional prompt strike, CPS missiles, roar from submarines at Mach 16. And yes, the carrier still matters. The Navy argues that layered Aegis, F-35 Sea dogfights, and decoy cloud drones will keep the big decks punching. But every counter demands money, training, and political will. In Vision 2032, a crisis erupts in the Taiwan Strait. Within hours, planned Type 055s unleash a fan of YJ-21s, while orbiting drones feed targeting packets to DF-26 launch brigades. US DMO forces scatter, Arleigh Burke's firing SM-6s in mid-course, stealthy unmanned Manta subs slipping torpedoes toward Fusion's escorts. The sky flashes with boost glide contrails, jammers howl, and somewhere under 3,000 meters, a Type 096 listens for a presidential go order. Victory swings on data latency measured in microseconds, and battery commanders half a world away tracking icons on glass. The first way Washington pushes back is simple: build more hulls. Fast. Congress's FY 2025 National Defense Authorization Act authorizes a path to 381 manned warships and 134 unmanned vessels by 2045, a decisive bump from today's 291. How? 3 levers. 1. Workhorse production. Ingalls and Bath Iron Works are locked into a 5-year multi-year for DDG-51, Flight 3 destroyers, each fitted with Spy-6 radars that triple sensitivity against low-flying cruise missiles. 2. Frigate fever. Fincantieri's Constellation-class FFG-62 slices the cost curve. $1.2 billion buys 32 VLS cells, an AN Spy-7 array, and the reach to escort convoys across the Philippine Sea. 3. Next-gen Leviathan. The DDG-X, just unveiled without its 5-inch gun to free deck space for hypersonic launchers, will move 12 megawatts of integrated power, enough to fire 300 kilowatt lasers from bow and stern. But quantity is useless without survivability. Hence the Columbia-class SSBN, a ghostly 21,000-ton Sentinel whose electric drive whispers at less than 110 decibels. The first hull, USS District of Columbia, faces an 18-month delay, yet still promises a 2085 deterrent life, insurance that no adversary can black out the American homeland without gambling extinction. Mass needs brains. That brain is Project Overmatch, the Navy's slice of joint all-domain command and control. In February 2025, the project inked a Five Eyes data sharing pact. Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US now pour code into a single DevSecOps pipeline. Imagine an F-35C spotting a planned destroyer, beaming coordinates through a laser comm link to a Virginia-class sub, which then flick-fires a CPS boost glide round, all before the target's radar completes its rotation. Latency goal: under 10 seconds from sensor to shooter, fleet-wide. The initiative hinges on tactical edge clouds strapped to every combatant and AI-assisted fusion nodes that sift terabytes of SAR, ELINT, and acoustic pings. Overmatch turned heads at RIMPAC 24, where Allied ships executed 32 multinational kill chains in a single afternoon exercise, proof that code can multiply steel. Deterring YJ-21s means outrunning or outmaneuvering them. The Sword. In 2027, conventional prompt strike, CPS, will roar from Block 5 Virginia subs, an unclassified goal of Mach 16 over 1,700 nautical miles. SSP's April 2025 brief confirms the missile is on track, integrated via the Virginia payload module. The Shield. March 26, 2025, Aegis destroyer USS Pinckney tracks a live hypersonic surrogate and performs a simulated kill with the upgraded SM-6 Block 1B Seeker, MDA calls it the nation's only near-term hypersonic defense. A live-fire intercept, FTM-43, follows later this year. Layer 2 is Spy-6 plus F-35 C Block 4. The jet's new DAS-2 infrared suite can cue shipboard missiles beyond the radar horizon, while its Block 4 software finally unlocks LRASM integration, letting carrier air wings strike decks without leaving blue water sanctuaries. Autonomy flips the numbers game. The FY25 budget requests $2.5 billion for large unmanned surface and undersea vehicles, with USNI reporting procurement of extra Orca XLUUVs and 4 large USVs per year starting 2027. Why care? A 300-foot robot trimaran costs 1/5 a destroyer, hauls 64 missiles, and, if sunk, sends no condolence letters. Blue Water Autonomy's 100-foot drone ships already patrol as testbeds, showing how mid-tier yards can churn hulls at commercial tempo. Below, Snakehead and Hammerhead mines lurk with AI triggers, turning choke points into no-go zones. Overhead, MQ-25 refuelers push carrier air wings 600 nautical miles farther. When human ships sprint into combat, a robotic screen will soak the first salvo. Hold the line inside the weapons engagement zone. That mantra birthed the Marine Littoral Regiments, MLRs. December 2024 saw the 12th MLR activate on Okinawa. A third will stand up in Hawaii this summer. Their signature punch is Nemesis, a joint light tactical vehicle, launching paired naval strike missiles from any fishing pier. During Balikatan 25 in the northern Philippines, Nemesis rolled off a C-130, fired a simulated salvo across the Luzon Strait, and vanished into coconut groves before satellites could cue return fire. Add Mattis counter-drone batteries, Ghost Bat loitering munitions, and the core now operates as a porous tripwire that forces planned admirals to track a swarm of high-mobility launchers scattered over 7,000 islands. Meanwhile, Washington cements the real estate. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, gains 5 new access sites, including Balabac Island, 70 nautical miles from the Spratlys. Japanese workers are hardening fuel farms on Amami Oshima for rapid F-35 rotation. Australia's AUKUS SSN roadmap promises 8 nuclear-powered hunters stalking the Coral Sea by 2040, sharing U.S. combat systems and Tomahawk tubes. All that construction money flows through the Pacific Deterrence Initiative, funded at $9.9 billion for FY25. Runways, fuel depots, and pre-positioned munitions to keep any China-Taiwan crisis from becoming a contest of broken supply lines. The U.S. learned in Ukraine that ammo wins wars. 2025 contracts pump $1.93 billion into fresh JASSM and LRASM missiles, quadrupling annual output. Home A War Reserve mandate now stockpiles 22,000 long-range precision rounds by 2030, with a 30-day replenishment target. Parallel initiatives convert commercial shipyards to build ready-reload missile canisters, slide-out magazines each holding 8 SM-6s. Picture row-row vessels moored at Guam acting as floating ammo lockers, sparing destroyers the 3-day sail back to Japan. Run the tape again, but this time with U.S. mitigation baked in. YJ-21s bloom on radar. E-2D Delta relays vectors through overmatch to F-35Cs firing LRASM XR from 800 nautical miles. Type 055 cruisers feel the first slashes. In the shadows, a Virginia unleashes 2 CPS darts, one aimed at a planned satellite uplink, the other at a missile depot near Ningbo. Onshore, a Marine Littoral platoon pops up on Itbayat Island, ripple-firing Nemesis rounds that arc across the Bashi Channel, forcing a landing flotilla to veer east, into the sonar cones of 3 Orca XLUUVs lying doggo. Above, an SM-6 Block 1B streaks skyward, smacking a diving DF-17 just 70 seconds from impact. For the first time in decades, the outcome hinges not on who has the most ships, but on who links sensors, shooters, and stockpiles the fastest. And that, viewers, is the very metric the Pentagon is racing to master. China welded a spear with carriers, missiles, and masts, but the United States is forging an adaptive shield. Faster shipyards, smarter networks, robot wolf packs, island-hopping marines, and magazines that refill on industrial-age tempo. It's a sprawling trillion-dollar gamble that agility can beat sheer volume. Will it be enough? The answer is still drafting itself in Pacific shipyards and Philippine jungle clearings. One thing is certain, whoever fuses code and steel first will write the next chapter of sea power. If you crave front-row seats to that struggle, from hypersonic intercept tests to the first Ghost Fleet sea trial, Hit subscribe, sound battle stations on that bell, and keep your eyes on combat tech, because the future of naval warfare won't wait, and neither should you.